Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here. Welcome to this Aimless Wanderings vlog for the Dynamite Doctor's first special, Dynamite of the Doctor, which is the first of actual audiobooks rather than audio drama. The first two Dynamite specials, Dynamite and Convolution, feature audiobooks narrated by John Gransden. With his first wave, it's kind of a mix between an audio drama going on and a narrator narrating the story, with the exception of Fondness and Creatures before the final scene, where it's pretty much somebody else narrating the story as like a character's narrating it, as opposed to just having a narrator. And then at the end you get some bit of an audio drama. And also Fetch has a very similar thing to the other stories in Dynamite Wave 1, and I think Wave 2 might be doing it, or it'll be doing a mix of audiobooks and audio dramas, maybe also audio dramas with narration, or it's going to be exactly like Wave 1. I'm not sure, we'll get to that when it comes out. Wave 2's not yet come out, so when it does we'll find out. So Dynamite of the Doctor, this is completely narrated by John Gransden, who plays the Dynamite Doctor. And the story is absolutely... oh boy. Now, I said at the end of my last vlog, this is my least favourite story, and the reason is, well, the story is supposed to be a parody of New Who tropes, as Dynamite's New Who Doctor parody, whilst the other three are more parodies of classic Doctors. Quincy's not really a parody of any specific Doctor. She's pretty much her own character at this point, to be honest. Maybe she'll take inspiration from the 13th Doctor in later audios, but we'll see. But here, I think they go a bit too far with the parodying, because the Dynamite Doctor is just like, you just reminded me of the Time War, and there's lots of sexual references and details to Tulip, the character. Like the every other mention of Tulip will have some sort of reference to a sexual or bodily function, often her boobs. And yeah, sometimes the Time War stuff's a bit funny at the start, and maybe a couple of the sexual jokes are a bit funny earlier on, but later on it just gets well, certainly with this latter one, it gets a bit annoying and repetitive. The last of the Time War stuff doesn't really pop up again until the end, which isn't too bad. And stuff at the start, just before the Doctor remembers the Time War, somehow wanting to go to the moon or another planet, reminds him of the Time War. It's a parody, but there's got to be some sort of leniency. The 10th and 9th Doctors didn't just remind themselves of the Time War just by looking at a sign, for instance, or listening to the word bus stop. Like, the Doctor wouldn't see a mug in the new series and be reminded of the Time War, but the Dynamite Doctor would. Because, I don't know, he's a bit dim. The rest of the story consists of them trying to avert destruction from Dynamite that's somehow gotten into the vortex and is on its way to destroy them. So in order to stop it, the Doctor has to kiss Tulip and press a button to destroy the Dynamite, which is actually basically says save the day. This, I know it's a parody of New Who tropes, but I think it's gone a bit too far. I think it's just cobbled them into a bit of a mess of a story, and it's more centred on using those tropes to tell a short story, rather than having a story with those tropes in them and maybe tying them in, but not letting them take over the story. And I think that's what the problem with this is. It's trying to take over the story. Also, the stuff with the Dynamite in the time vortex being there because Dynamite keeps saying Dynamite over and over. That's just stupid. Otherwise, make it less stupid by having more Dynamite try to kill the Dynamite Doctor in later stories. But here, no. It's done the once. If it was done more than once, it might be a bit more plausible, and this is just the first time. But it's just the one time it's ever happened, so it's just silly. And yeah, I know, it's a parody of the new series, it's a parody of the tropes, but it goes over the top, it goes a bit too far, and the story suffers for that. In fact, I think we might even have been better without this one. I think this story is the one Aimless Wanderings story that didn't need to be made. It's just something to feature the Dynamite Doctor and do some tropes, but other than that, I think it just didn't need to be worried about. Convolution of the Doctor, the next special, is much better done, and I think Fresh Blood's Joel H. Jolson, who writes his first story, A Good Pug Goes to War, I think he does Dynamite very well. So Joel H. Jolson definitely knows what he's doing with that story. But here, I think it just took it a bit too far. And it's funny maybe the first couple of times, but after more re-listens, it becomes a bit silly. It becomes a bit over the top, and even to New Who standards, or parody standards, it goes a bit too far. I think maybe what could have been improved is remove a couple of the sexual jokes and maybe come up with a better explanation of the Dynamite being in the vortex, and then having the press save the day button and the kiss wouldn't have been too bad. But as it is, it's a pretty weak story and it's pretty weak executed. Although I did like the audiobook format with John Granston reading the story and doing all the voices. He does a very good tulip. And the music works as well, but as a story and it doesn't really work. It's not very good. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. The 5 out of 10 is because the good stuff there's some good stuff and it's funny occasionally, but at other times it's just not that great. This is, at the time of me doing these vlogs, it is the weakest Aimless Wanderings story in this made, and it's my least favourite. I think the weakest executed is probably Evil of the TARDIS, but in weakest story terms, at least Evil of the TARDIS had an engaging story, despite probably being being a very, very little to the story. It was very engaging, and the same for Spot of Golf. And also, that I was originally going to give that a 6, but I gave it a 7 because the perception of the commentators' books, that was interesting. So yeah, but this one, it doesn't really work to the advantage. As like I said, if they'd cut out some of the sexual references, especially later on, and came up with a better explanation for the Dynamite being in the vortex at all, or have the better danger, then yeah, it would have been a bit better. But as it stands, it is currently the weakest audio in the Aimless Wanderings series. And yeah, it doesn't put Dynamite on a very good start, does it? I mean, other than Dr. Cubed, Dynamite's not had a very good start. But don't worry, he will improve both as a character and his stories. So, that's Dynamite of the Doctor. The weakest of the Christmas episodes. Yeah, this is a sort of a Christmas special. There would be about 2 more. I think there's 2 more episodes near to Christmas in 2014 and 2015. But the 2013 one is easily the weakest. We'll get to the other ones later. But anyway, thankfully 2013 didn't end with this story. 2013 was supposed to end with The Lift of Doom, the Fruit Pastel special, but that was delayed to January 2nd. However, the Pompous Doctor stepped in to do a New Year special of his own. So next time we'll be looking at A Pompous New Year. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.